Did you ever try
Yeah.
to do anything in LA or Hollywood?
No, I grew up in the Bay Area, so I was in Northern California, and I don't think maybe there was some stuff there that was a possibility, but there was nothing that was within my understanding of and I mean I didn't even know about like community theater growing up or anything. Like I don't think I had any awareness of anything besides like school
Yeah, the
plays.
school involvements.
Yeah.
So how did it happen in New York City for you?
I mean, I also like in college, I hung around all the theater majors and I always loved theater and was always a theater person. And I think because I was in choir and I danced, I was on the dance team, like being somebody who was a singer and a dancer, I also automatically ended up as like chorus girl, in in a bunch of shows
Okay.
in college and just fell in love with theater in general and moved to New York thinking that I was gonna maybe work in administrative in theater. Like I think I had enough understanding of what the industry was like that I did not think I had the gumption or the desire or the ambition to try and really make it. And I wasn't really an actor. I'd never really taken any acting classes. And I'm a fine singer, I'm a fine dancer, but I'm not, was never anything outstanding. So I wanted to work in theater. I worked in a box office in the off-Broadway theater. I worked as an usher. So I worked around theater. I worked as a intern in a casting agency, or no, it was a talent agency. This is the early 2000s. So all of that was really interesting. I've kind of always been around the theater and then worked in restaurants as a bartender and a waiter in the theater district. So
Oh,
also,
fun.
yeah, also like waiting on a lot of people going to and from Broadway shows, a lot of actors and stuff like that. So just I've always been around the theater and always loved movies and TV and entertainment and theater. But in New York, I just had a couple years ago, I had a boyfriend who his roommate was an actor, and she started doing background work to fill in between gigs. And he had just moved to New York and was looking for work. And she encouraged him to start doing background work as like, oh, it's very easy to do. You don't have to be an actor and it's very flexible. You can only apply to jobs on days when you're available. You can turn things down. Like it can be a good way to fill in a bit while you're looking for other work. So he started to do it and I started dating him when he was doing that. And I thought, oh, this is so cool. Like I want to do this. And he's like, the same way he's like, you can do it too. And so I signed up to Central Casting, which is online, centralcasting.com. And Central Casting has been around like 100 years or
Okay.
more. And it's primarily in LA and New York, as like most things are, but they do cast all around. And they have like in-person sessions where you go in and fill out your paperwork, like legal paperwork for the job
Hmm.
and they take your picture and then you're kind of in their system for casting agents to look at for background work. And so
Okay.
this was
Like an
2000,
inventory. Like,
yeah,
okay.
like it's online and they don't on there they don't post jobs. They really just will reach out to you if they have something.
Okay. That's
You can
cool.
upload photos too and like fill in some of your talents and details and stuff and your height and weight.
Right. Because I mean,
And
you
so
keep your voice in shape, you take dance classes. Do you need to have like such a tremendous wheelhouse to get into this? Or what if you just have one thing?
you don't have to have anything. You just have to be um I mean, really anybody can do it if you're interested in it. And it's so interesting to just be kind of a fly on the wall in the middle of a set. Like that's what I really enjoyed was being on the inside in this, industry and in this creative outlet, creative, what's the word I'm looking for? Like just movies and TVs, this creative environment that I've always
Mhm.
enjoyed and seen the outcome of, but never seen how it works internally. So I
Yeah,
really,
being behind the scenes. So they call it background work more than extra work. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think background is probably more the
More
professional.
accurate.
Yeah.
Okay. For people that like want to get into this, I know people are watching now that might want to do the same thing that you're doing. Um, so that's some like they would consider it background work. That would
Yes.
be okay.
That's probably the like what you would search online for.
Okay. So the opportunities that you've had, do you think that they've been based on some of your skill sets, or do you think it's been a little more about just who you are when people have been like perusing the different options they have?
Yeah, I think it's mostly just timing and luck
Timing.
and age and look. I mean, um,
Okay.
yeah, I think it's mostly look a lot like sometimes there's costume fittings if it's a period piece, which is also really fun.
Those,
Like
I was just gonna say, those sound really neat to do.
I love that. If there's ever a costume fitting, I'm so excited about it. But also a lot of times for like TV shows that are modern day, they'll ask you to bring your own clothes. And I guess the major difference too is that I'm not in SAG-AFTRA. I'm not in the union. So there's union background work for SAG-AFTRA, and then there's non-union background, and so that's what I do, and that's what's really easy to get in. And so there's I don't know what the rules are exactly, but I think it's most shows and movies have to employ at least 25 union background. So for scenes that are larger, then they can dip into the non-union pool. So a lot
Okay.
of the scenes that I've been in have been larger scenes with a
Are
lot of
there any specific requirements to be an extra? Like something, anything that would like automatically get you like removed from being a potential, or is there like, I mean, obviously like the basics in getting a job, but like no criminal record and things, but is there any particular bar you need to be above to do this kind of work?
no, I don't even think criminal record matters.
Really?
No, I think you just have to. I've talked to like I like to try and talk to people on set too, like
Yeah.
the
See what
civilian
else?
records. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think I was chatting with one and I asked like, have you ever had to kick somebody off of set? And she said like once. And it was just somebody who just wouldn't take any direction. Who, I mean, she like this person was obviously just not paying attention, not in the right head, and they asked them to leave. But no, it's I mean, if you can follow directions.
Okay, so long as you're receptive, you're good.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
you're totally good. And all like ages, shapes, sizes, race, everything. Like
Great.
there's
Okay.
something for everyone. I will say like when I first started, it was 2019 and I had blue hair. And so I didn't get a lot of
That limited your options.
because it was just very, very niche. I was a very niche look. And then the pandemic happened, and so everything kind of shut down. But now that I'm more natural hair color, I think I'm just more high.
That's definitely good. No, try to be a little more traditional or a little more, what would be the word?
Generic.
Generic, yeah, a little more within nature, within like the natural, at least the hair color should probably be within a normal range, right?
That's something that gets asked a lot is that for the period pieces, especially, like they don't want highlights.
Right.
Like if it's the
Nothing
70s,
that happened
people didn't have
then.
balayage.